So we are gathered here today to talk about Elliot Page, who is a trans actor and who is supposed to be starring in the Odyssey, a coming movie. I'm sure you've heard a lot of discourse around this movie already. It's sparked a lot of controversy because of its casting. But recently, I've noticed some things. And so I kind of want to talk about how online entertainment can become so dehumanizing that it can even, it could turn into, pretty much harassment and transphobia and even fantasies of violence. I really want to talk about this because I noticed some clips going around on social media, AI videos of Elliot Page playing in this role and pretty much being killed, you know what I mean? They have him in random roles too, not just in the Odyssey AI videos, but also I seen one for Predator, I seen one for Rocky, and pretty much in every one it results in either him being killed or it ends with him being hurt in some type of way or something like that, some type of violence that takes place. It's disturbing because of how normalized it's become for people to just not see how disturbing it is. It's not even just in videos like that, but with anything with Elliot Page in it. The comment section, I have noticed, full of transphobia, misgendering, dead naming, whatever you could call it. Any way to put this man down is what's been taking place. But what took it a step further is by normalizing violence against this person and it being covered up with, oh, this is just a joke, it's just funny, and how people are eating that shit up. It's one thing to disagree with the casting, to dislike a casting decision or even, have certain criticisms for Hollywood, but to create and share an AI video that's depicting an actor being violently killed is not film criticism. And I feel like it's interesting how you go from you could make valid criticisms to now you're just pretty much just going straight to just being straight up hateful. And it's honestly very disturbing to think about. I honestly fear for his safety and any other type of person, whether it's a person of color, whether it's somebody within the LGBTQ plus community. Just seeing how normalized it is to be violent and for it to be to the point where people are so desensitized to it is what's concerning for me and what I've seen. So I'm not saying that just because people are disagreeing with the casting means that automatically you're the problem or that you're one of these people. I'm just simply calling out the people that are clearly going out of their way to misgender, to spread hate and violence against these actors. That is who I'm addressing. So if you don't like the casting, fine. That's not what the video is about. Whatever, you can have your opinions. But like I said, my concern is the violence and honestly fearing for these people. Honestly, it's a very scary time to be in. You know what I mean? To be in a society where a movie of all things makes people so angry and upset to the point of violence. You know what I'm saying? And using AI to do it, to bring that satisfaction of this person being harmed. And a lot of times it doesn't even have to do with, for example, Elliot Page. It's not about him as an individual, but more so about what they feel like he represents. Because let's be honest, every casting announcement becomes political these days. It's always some type of political statement, whether you're a person of color, whether you're in the LGBTQ plus, community, whether it's your gender, whatever the case might be, it is political. Every interview gets dissected. Oh my god, even when it comes down to Supergirl and how she was being bashed, for every little thing that she would say, people would take it and run with it. Pretty much it was just finding any way, shape, or form to be just hateful towards the actress who was playing Supergirl. And with these actors or these actresses, every ordinary public appearance even becomes a hostile commentary as well. These people just can't just live normal lives or just do normal shit without hate. I remember seeing one video of Elliot Page with, I think, his girlfriend or whatever, and they're taking a video, not video, but taking pictures on a red carpet. He was taking his glasses off or whatever, and he realized he didn't have a pocket for his glasses on his jacket or whatever. And so it was a little joke. They laughed a little bit, and people in the comments took that and just were just running with it, just finding any way to misgender or to body shame. The way people go out of their way to be hateful is beyond me, to be so invested in somebody else's life. So some people tend to project their broader frustrations with Hollywood or with transgender issues onto one person. That could also be with regards race and different things like that. If you're in the forefront, they're gonna go for you and bash you. Supergirl, white woman. I'm you guys get a blonde hair, but I don't know if she has blue eyes or not. You get a white woman playing Supergirl, whatever the fuck you ever want. Literally, boom, got her. And still found things to be angry at. Whether it's her appearance, whether it's whatever she was saying, whether it's her performance, all of it was on the fucking show. They're finding any type of way to put her down. That's not just her, but with other people too. Elliot Page, so on and so forth. And so when a person becomes a symbol instead of a human being, it becomes empathy becomes easier to lose in that instance. They don't see you as a person. You're gonna be their punching bag until they find another person to be their punching bag. And And a lot of the criticisms about Elliot Page specifically aren't even about his work. It's about his identity as a transgender man. Like everything that you could imagine to say about a person to invalidate their identity is pretty much what's happening here. I mean, it's pretty much, persistent misgendering, mocking his appearance or mannerisms, claiming something is wrong with him simply because he's trans, and the constant scrutiny of, whatever projects he's involved with. So regardless of his performance, like, it's always going to be the backlash of something about him, as a person, as far as like how he looks or, how he speaks or his mannerisms. Like there's always something that's being nitpicked, based off of that, not even about his work or like anything like that. Because mind you, Elliot Page has been in the industry since I believe like he was like a teenager. Pre-transition, obviously, like he transitioned like fairly recently, I think, like within the past few years. And so majority of his career, he's presented as a woman. So to be in such a public eye and to be known for being in so many different roles and different projects, and to finally get to a point where you're like, okay, yes, I want to start living my truth now. This is what I'm going to do. I can only imagine how nerve-wracking that must be to make such a big transition at that point in your life, at that point in your career. Because I believe like even before the last season of The Umbrella Academy happened, he transitioned, so they had to pretty much change the character and adjust the character based off of who he is now. And so I thought that was pretty awesome that they're able to do that, keep him a part of the show and just kind of adjust things and kind of give reason as to why this change happened. And to make such a change like that at that point in his life, I feel like nerve-wracking. And so when people go through these interviews or try to nitpick every single appearance of saying he's clearly not happy, something's wrong with him, I'm like, he's a human being. Imagine, it's common sense. Imagine how much anxiety and how many other like mental things must be going on to be like, okay, like even being out in public, being seen, being perceived, like even just us every day, like going to a freaking store and being worried about how we're perceived or looked at. Imagine being a celebrity who's gone through a big transition like this, when people are used to seeing you this way, now you transition, and how much anxiety that must bring. Not only just that, but even finding work, how you're perceived amongst your peers and things like that, let alone like how I guess regular people might perceive you. But I won't call them fans because they're not fans really, but like I would imagine that would be a lot for someone like him to experience. And so a lot of people just want to find any way to discredit him as a trans man, want to try to make him seem like there's something wrong with him mentally, body shaming him, all these different types of things. Like, it's just ridiculous. And that's why I was pushed to the edge to see these AI videos being put out there of violent things happening to him and it being pushed as humor when it's not humor. In my opinion, it's not humor. That shit's not funny. It's one thing, okay, a height joke, whatever the fuck. But when it's getting to the point of constantly making him be harmed within these AI videos, to me, that's weird as fuck. That's weird. That's clear. I feel like it's clear what the message is. But you know what? That's just my perception of it. And I feel like the scary thing is because AI is like escalating online harassment. Like, it's one thing to be hateful, but to be able to make a realistic visual like content of it. Like I can only imagine what it might look like to go online one day and see that somebody made an AI video of you being harmed physically. I mean, I can already imagine like already being paranoid of those things happening just on a day-to-day basis. But actually seeing a video like that be online and people finding it funny, I can only imagine what that might do to you mentally. So I think that because it's so easily attainable that anybody could just, pick up their phone or grab their laptop and make an AI video within like minutes, if not seconds, to create disturbing content that people would perceive to be funny or memes or entertainment. Like it contributes to desensitization and normalizing hostility within our society, which is already, I feel like at the point where how things are looking right now, it's really scary to think about. And I feel like the intensity of the reaction with Elliot Page is like far greater than anything he's actually done. Like, he hasn't done anything. Like, I don't even just in general, like besides like little things, I don't think I've ever actually heard of him being in any type of like controversy or anything like crazy problematic. Don't quote me on that. I haven't necessarily seen anything. I feel like maybe I've probably heard like a few things maybe, but it's like nothing like that I can remember that was just like this person needs to get help or this person is super problematic as far as I'm aware of. But it's kind of interesting to see like just literally exist and how people would take that and find some way to be angry or upset about it when you have people out here, celebrities that have done that are currently problematic, that people don't have that same energy for. It's just really crazy to me how people will get more upset about Elliot Page because of his identity than people will about actual actions and things that people are actively doing that harm other people but still they'll still have strong public support regardless of the harm that they're actively or have done. Yeah, Elliot Page, just for being who he is, he gets all the fucking hate. And it's not just him, like I said, this is just an example of a bigger issue, not just with, you know, trans, but like with women, with people of color, you know, black people, Asian, whatever the case might be, that this is actively the type of stuff that we have to deal with right now. So it's really pinpointing what's going on with, you know, online culture in general, and how social media rewards outrage, unfortunately, and people do end up becoming like symbols instead of actual individuals, and how easy it is for people to dehumanize other people just because they might be different. And even how like entertainment discussions increasingly become culture wars. It's like a whole battlefield with anything. The amount, like the fact that it's so hard to just kind of be excited for something these days, like at this point it's become hard to just be genuinely like excited for something, because there's always some type of controversy attached to it. Doesn't matter what it is. It's like nobody's happy for anything these days. There's always a group of people who are loud as hell complaining about the most minuscule things that don't fucking matter. I'm like, you haven't even seen the fucking movie yet. Like, why are you judging so hard? Like, why are you pushing back on it so hard over the most like minuscule things? Like, I just don't understand. And like I said, criticism, okay, I get it, but to the point where like every single thing in entertainment becomes like this political thing or like this culture war thing, it's just exhausting. And I think that is super weird, you know, at this point, that a movie could bring people in, like just media in general has brought people to a place of genuinely being frustrated to the point of celebrating violence. And it's not just with this movie, it's been an ongoing pattern, that this has been something that a lot of us, I'm sure, have noticed, especially within the past couple of years when it comes to these movies. Like as soon as there's a casting somebody doesn't like, everybody's up in arms, everybody's fucking angry. And by everyone, I'm just talking about the bigots, that's all. That's why it's usually who it is that's really upset about these things. So this video is really about just like, not even necessarily film criticism, because I feel like film criticism, okay, valid, but when it gets to the point where online you're stripping people of their humanity, that is where I feel like this discussion definitely needs to come in, especially because, like I said, when it's resorting to a point of violence, something needs to be done about that. So that's the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and definitely don't give these bigots any of your attention. Like, just don't do it. Like, they don't need any more engagement, they don't need any more attention. I feel like a lot of people have become more aware of what's going on, but at the same time, I think it's important to continue to speak out against these situations. Unfortunately, it's something that is happening, and that something needs to be done about it, you know what I mean? But the more people speak up, you know, the better, and the more people are aware of what's going on, I feel like that's also good as well. So just doing my due diligence and addressing things that I feel like need to be talked about. Anyways, gonna do a slight plug here. Okay, so I made a video about weird age gap relationships in media, specifically in the 80s and in the 90s. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. It hasn't been doing very well just because I had to set it to 18 plus, as far as like, you know, I had to put an age restriction on there because otherwise YouTube would take the video down again. But if you're above the age of 18, definitely check out the video, spread the word, get the word out there. I feel like it's an important topic that should be discussed. But that being said, see you on the next one.
Who wrote it? Like, literally, who wrote that?
It didn't come from me.
I wrote it.
I'm a loose cannon.